And we're streaming.
Fantastic. So you'll probably hear a slightly different start to this episode for those listening on the podcast. Kev and I are attempting to become YouTube stars, I think. So I'm sure everyone knows who we are, but Chris with a K, and it's also Kevin with a K, isn't it? Anyway, I never know. It's always Kevin with a K. So we are looking ahead to game week 38. So we thought we'd try something completely different last game week of the season, and perhaps that's what everyone else should be doing as well with your teams, making those final punts of the year. Um, so Kev, you've obviously bought a fancy new laptop and been thinking about how we might get ourselves on YouTube. So perhaps we should chat about that first.
Yeah, it's not fancy. It's like pretty value, actually. Like, my thought was, I don't really want to put a fucking penny into this if we're not making money. Do you know what I mean? It's just a hobby or whatever.
Yeah.
So I figured when it gets to the point where we actually need a new laptop, then we can maybe try this YouTube thing again, because we tried to do it once on my 2018 Air Mac or whatever, and my computer was like trying its hardest not to blow up because just all the shit you need to run this YouTube video crap is like
Yep.
just too much for that computer. So then I just went into the computer store. I also talked to Larry. He helped me out a bit. And the people at the computer store were like, you just need like a basic computer to run that stuff, dude. Your old computer is just really old,
Oh,
basically.
yeah.
So with Kim, I figured, you know what? She needs kind of her own computer for work. So I'll
Yep.
buy this for her for like to run her own business stuff for her own office. And then that'll be the excuse to get a new laptop and all.
Sweet.
Yeah. So anyway,
Nice.
today we're
Cool.
just trying it out. I want to see how fluid it all looks and how shitty the quality is, and it's the
And
first
if we can
time
make it
doing
into a pod
this.
afterwards,
Yeah,
because
that's
that's
the
kind of
thing.
it's kind of where we started. So yeah, that sounds good. So I guess timestamp on this. This is 10 to 9 Tuesday evening, so we're partway through the final games of game week 37. Um, and Crystal Palace are winning 2-1, but no one will own the players. Well, you
Mm.
might have it. Sar's got an assist, but Nketiah with a double. Ag, Agbadu with a goal for Wolves. So I think that you had Eze on the bench, uh, Mateta on the bench. So Kev's prediction was right. They're going to do a rotation. Annoyingly, they've played Minoz because those I know. I mean, I've got Minoz in my team, but I wanted him to be rested because I know you got 15 concert points sat on the bench, so you needed
Yeah,
either
whatever.
Minoz or well, it is what it is. And I've also seen that Kuna's on the bench as well. So
I didn't
so
notice
we are,
that.
yeah. And then Man City are 2-0 up, and I got Kevin De Bruyne, I've got Haaland, I've got Vardy, so obviously got loads of points, but no, unfortunately it's Marmoush and Silva with the goals and Kovacic and Gundogan with the assists, but that's life, eh? That's how it goes. I did look at the stats earlier, and De Bruyne has got like almost a one x, and he's got one xGI, so that means he's missed a massive chance somewhere or something. He's anyway,
Okay.
such is life. And then, so I guess Kev, the couple of things I think we should talk about is who do we think is now beached?
Mm.
Because we were sort of predicting that, and I think that picture has become a bit clearer. Although there's an interesting bit about Europe, so I think it's worth stepping through that table, and then talking about what the tactics are for last game of the season, because it's slightly unusual, just because everyone kicks off at the same time, and there's sort of a chance of team leak news, and you're just talking through sort of tactics around that, and then maybe we just wrap up with some of the listeners' questions, and if you fancy it, maybe try and grab a couple of those on screen for our our YouTube viewers, if
Like
that's the right
type
way to
them up
describe
quick.
people. Something
Sure.
like that. So should we? So and yeah. So the live games are half time. So
What do you want to start with? I just switched to. You can now see my internet.
cool. Well, why don't you put up the Premier League
Why
table?
don't you put up the Premier League
And let's
table?
chat to see who's beached and who's not.
And let's
Okay, yeah, give me a
chat,
sec to do
see
that.
see who's beached and who's not.
While Kev is doing that, I'm sure everyone knows that Liverpool at the top of the table.
Well,
They lost yesterday to
yesterday
Brighton.
Brighton.
Their last game of the
Their
season
last game of the
is
season
home
is home
to Crystal Palace. So, I mean, I think, Kev, I can see them playing a fairly. I mean, I think Mo's going to get the minutes, right? Mo's still going for the record.
Yeah.
He needs a couple of goals or something, I think, to hit some sort of record for the year in terms of goal contributions or something.
Right.
He's obviously gone fairly dry. You can see him just doing it last home game of the season. But I mean, apart from Mo, I do think the rest of the team are a rotation risk.
Yeah.
But I do think Mo will get 90.
Yeah, and they clearly don't give a fuck, do they?
No, I mean,
they
would never lose into Brighton from 2-1 up early in the season, right? It was never happening.
Exactly. I don't. Kind of pissed off I capped Mo. I just figured. He'd be going for this record. I mean, it's true that he's been starting every game. I think he'll
played
start
90.
again. Yeah, so I guess it wasn't the worst. It's just everyone else around him is not teeing him up anymore. Well, maybe they will. Maybe they'll try and set him up for his goal or whatever all next game. I could see him actually. I guess I'm disappointed that I know they're beached, so it pissed me off that way. But ultimately, captaining him probably wasn't the worst move.
I mean, no captains took off, and as I bemoaned to you, I had Bumo captain, and obviously he scored a goal and then missed a penalty.
Yeah,
that's
beat me.
But that was a 20-point swing for me, which is a bit of a killer.
Totally.
But, that's. I mean, I don't think it massively matters at the poor rank I'm in, but having had Palmer miss his only penalties ever missed in his career when I captained him earlier in the season as well, I was like, well, that just seems typical of how some of the luck falls sometimes.
Season, dude. You've had a shit season, and the last few weeks you've been experimenting a bit. So whatever, you're gonna. I guess the lower down the rank you are, the more deviated you're going to get to try and do some wild shit because it's sort of like a season lost, whatever. I mean, it's all good, though. Still have a fun punty last week.
Well, I've only got one transfer because I sold Eze to Palmer, which I was partly regretting, but then...
Eze's not playing.
If Eze comes off the bench for 1 point, then I'm like, well, I'm 1 point up, so fantastic.
There you go. Or he braces.
And that's more likely, isn't it? So then next is Arsenal. So with Man City winning, and I suspect they will win. They're 2-0 up at home, so they're probably going to win. We theoretically need a point to confirm second place because Man City are going to be currently they're 8 goals behind us in terms of goal difference. So it's possible they could overturn it because they're away at Fulham last game.
Yeah.
So Arsenal are kind of beach, kind of not beach, but it's Southampton away. I mean, Saka's been poor, right? But if you've got Saka, you've got to keep him.
It's really annoying because I was in a unique scenario that I've had him and not many others have. And it's like this, and we're in this little era where there aren't any premiums. So you go and you get him and it works out and he fucking goes blank, and also had some injury issues and early subs because of the whole stupid Champions League thing. And then he's scoring in Champions League. And it's I don't know. Whatever. I mean, it is what it is.
He doesn't look fully fit. And he got subbed early. He still got subbed off early.
Scored in Champions League, though, didn't he? I mean, he's still part of this team where
he's
out there. You think he's had massive XG games. Same with Mo this week. It's they could have easily hauled and I could be on these massive greens. And I guess I don't want to whine because that could be this scenario with anyone, with any other players. It's just when you're in a scenario where you've got a premium captained with Mo and a differential almost, because most people sold Saka for Bumo 3 weeks ago, and I did the strategy to not do that because I knew I would play him next week, and it sounds to me like he's the main transfer target for everyone that doesn't have Saka this week. But I'm sitting there going, I don't know if I'm going to captain this guy with how cold the form's been. And then what'll happen is I won't captain him, and then he will go off, and I'll get fucking dusted again because everybody's going to bring him in and cap him this week. Right?
I mean, I don't think Azio will go over 100. So I don't think he got that big of an issue. I think his coldness will put enough people off. I would say. What I would say about it's tempting. I mean, what I would say about this week is, as in terms of game week 37, you kind of look at the team of the week. You got Ryan in goal with 7. I mean, there's a few keepers with clean sheets. Kind of is neither here nor there.
See if I can pull that up while you're talking about it.
Conta's got 15, which I know is an annoying one for you. Cucurella, who was one of my shouts for last week for whoever it was, he got 15. Then he got Justin on 12, James on 10. No one owns any of these players.
James on
And then in
10,
midfield, you've got Elliott,
no one
Gibbs,
owns any of
White,
these
Rice,
players.
Kamara. I mean, no
And
one's
then
going
in
to
midfield,
Kamara.
you've got
Then more
Elliott,
than 10s,
Gibbs,
and then up front, and Dyer, no one likes. And then Visser at
Yeah.
10. So, like, Visser's kind of the standout player of that. I mean, so there's not many. So it's like 5 points for player this week is actually quite good. Obviously, that's subject to like some of the City players. You know, City and Crystal Palace players. But it hasn't been a big scoring week. It hasn't been a big scoring week. Why it's not? Probably why it's not. You want a green arrow. You want a green arrow. That's because you know that's probably because of Visser, right?
Yeah,
It's
it's
probably
probably
Visser. Yeah.
15 on the bench doesn't help. Fuck. Player of the week right now is Konsa.
Yeah, but you got Kivior on 7, right? You have him, right? So that's...
Yeah, exactly. My decision was him or Kivior, and so it's only.
So you kind of lost that in 8
pain.
points, and yeah. Okay, so
But my green arrow's probably disappeared from that Marmouche goal. He's pretty highly owned, and some people have De Bruyne. I've only got Vardiol and Munoz, so there's going to be some SAR points kicking. Like, I guess Cunha could still come on and do something. I mean, there's quite a few players when there's 4 games left. I've only got 2 players, and
4
Vardiol.
games.
Vardiol. Sorry, what did I say?
It's you said that there's 4 teams still playing with it, but they've only got half each left.
Sure, fair enough. But I'm not. You're looking at live. I wasn't. My thing is, Vardiol's irrelevant. He's basically completely irrelevant, isn't he? I mean, unless you're going to captain him or something or bench him. Munoz, I think, is irrelevant, but I could see some people maybe benched him. I almost did. Fuck, I wish I did. I had Conce in right up until like 20 minutes before deadline, and I happened to look. But I thought, you know what? If he does start Wolves, I could see them. He's still super duper attacking, man. Like last week versus Tottenham, and this week in the FA Cup final, like he looks superb. I mean, I just didn't want to leave him on. I was thinking the other way. I'm gonna leave him on the bench, and he's gonna go nuts. And Konsa, quite frankly, it's his 2nd goal of the season. That's not going to be the last time a defender that puts up like 1 to 3 goals in the entire season is sitting there on my bench. He happened to get one of his 2 goals this week, right? I mean, I got the clean sheet covered with Martinez, so you can't I guess it's just everyone else seems to have Konsa as their Villa D, not Martinez. It's like, of course, right?
Yeah, it's true. I don't. It is, but well. So coming back to the sort of the beaching piece, so I think Arsenal are kind of beached, but I mean, I kind of think it's Southampton though, right?
Yeah.
I still think people target Arsenal players, and then you've got the next. Have you got the league up, Kev?
I do now. Yeah, obviously I'll learn how to do this better, but I'm basically like dragging shit around and pissed. Not easy on the eyes right now. I do.
So we talked about Liverpool and Arsenal. So Liverpool are beached, but we think Mo's still okay. Arsenal away at Southampton. I'm not convinced Saka will get 90 minutes based on what I've seen.
Right.
But I mean, Arsenal are kind of beached. But I mean, it's Southampton, right? Which kind of balances it the other way. Mm-hmm. Clearly, Southampton wanted to end the season well, but I don't think they're probably capable of that. I'll say that, and we're going to get spanked now by Southampton. And then you've got the next 5 teams who've all got a lot to play for because they're all fighting for Champions League, and these are the teams you kind of want to be targeted in terms of these have got the most to play for. These 5 teams. So running through their fixtures, Man City away at Fulham, which is a decent fixture. Mm-hmm. Newcastle home at Everton, which is the standout fixture, I would say, of all these teams. Chelsea are at Forest; they play each other, which is probably like the worst fixture. And then Villa at Manchester United, it's probably a decent fixture because Man United would have come off the Europa League. We didn't. Man United would have come off the Europa League. We didn't mention Europa League is tomorrow. I'm sure everyone knows. I guess the thing with the Europa League. I guess the thing with the Europa League. We talked about it last time. We talked about it a lot last time. We thought the Europa League have more weekend because had more impact on Friday and probably next weekend because. It's not just because it's a massive game. Obviously, it was a big game for Palace. It's a fantastic win for them. But it's also the European travel, right? It's the travel there, the preparation. It's a lot more there's a lot more to it than just rocking up at Wembley, which is around the corner for Palace. So of all those teams, the Newcastle one's definitely the standout. I mean, if you've got Isak, is he not the cap? Isak
Well,
was out injured, wasn't he?
Yeah,
So
we
that's
need news
interesting.
on him. But yeah, because Branthwaite and Tarkowski are out. And they're
So,
beached
so
as fuck. So
is it Callum Wilson time?
maybe if you
You want
want
to
to
punt?
punt, it would be hope there's a leak.
Yeah.
And it's, Murphy, Gordon, Barnes, Wilson, Isak. And I think there's going to be if you already have, it's going to be like a Saka versus one of them versus Bournemouth versus Leicester. However, Bournemouth have been soft lately. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, so in terms of for me, they're the five teams to target, and they're playing across 4 games because, as I mentioned, Chelsea play Forest. And that kind of leaves 4 games left. So one thing to mention, Kevin, is we talked last time that we thought 8th place would not be a European spot if Palace win the FA Cup. There is another scenario whereby
Right.
if Chelsea win the Conference League,
But drop out of top 5,
no,
6.
but drop out of the top 5, yeah, then 8th place will become a European spot. So there is an outside. So there's probably a greater chance that Chelsea win it than that they drop out the top. I mean, mind you, they're away at Forest, right? So maybe it's not completely out of the question. So if that's
So Villa have to win and Forest have to win in this scenario.
Forest win and Villa draw, or better.
Or better. Okay. And Newcastle, I mean, they're a lock, but they could technically fall out.
They could technically fall out if they lose by 2 more goals than Chelsea lose by to Forest, so I think it's unlikely.
Yeah, so City are very likely they're smashing Bournemouth 2-0 right now. So let's say they win this game.
So if Villa,
the top
Newcastle
4 will be wrapped up probably if Man City win today and Newcastle don't lose.
If Man City win, Newcastle win, Villa win, Chelsea have to beat Forest. Actually, that's a better way of describing it.
Okay.
So
It's gonna be a good game to watch.
But bearing in that, so the 2 teams that finish 8th are Brighton and Brentford, and they won't know where Chelsea finish in the league during their game. So they're going to have to go into those games trying to win it, which actually makes Brighton and Brentford slightly more interesting teams than we might have thought of done. So Brentford are. What are Brentford doing? They're away at Wolves, and Wolves are definitely beached. We talked about their form dropping off. We've seen some rotation tonight, but it's away, and Brentford aren't as good away from home. And then Brighton are also away, but they're away at Spurs, who again will be in a similar position to Man United, having just come off the European final. So, there might be an interesting punt on a Brighton or a Brentford player there.
Mm-hmm. So wait, Bournemouth are beached, right? If they lose today.
Bournemouth are beached unless they turn around and beat Man City, which I don't think is going to happen.
So I've got this week's fixtures up. I would like to punt on a home team player. That's up against even Arsenal's away, right? I don't love that. So who's again? Even Bowen's away versus Ipswich.
So there's 2 games with completely beached teams, which is Bournemouth and Leicester, and Ipswich and West Ham. They're completely beached teams. Right. Every other. So Liverpool and Palace are also beached.
Sure.
Liverpool and Palace also. So that's 3 games of teams are completely beached. Southampton, Arsenal is kind of beached teams. Well, Southampton are beached. Arsenal are kind of halfway house, and then the rest of the teams have got some form of European to play for. Even if you'd argue that Brighton and Brentford fighting over 8th is slight. I think Brighton and Brentford want to finish 8th. Okay. So I generally believe that they're up for it, but the fixtures aren't great, though, are they? Because a lot of them are away from home, like Brighton away, Brentford away, Chelsea away, Villa away, Man City away. The only teams that aren't beached at home are Newcastle and Forest.
Yeah. So Newcastle really is a good punty team.
I mean, a lot of people will still maybe have some of those players, from the doubles they're winning.
I rolled. I think you didn't roll because you got Palmer. But I'm looking. I got 2 transfers. Who's maximum? Newcastle technically want to win. They're playing a very beached, banged up defense Everton, who have just had their fucking, last
Party.
match ever win
Yeah.
party. They're
Yep.
probably the best on paper target. Like, seriously, like Bournemouth home less. I think Bournemouth probably had. If I'm the fan base there, if they were
Yeah.
just losing out on Europe this weekend or something, they might be a bit salty. But overall, they probably viewed this as a relatively good season. And
100%.
the pain of not making Europe was probably like 2 or 3 weeks ago, not like shock now. Like Forest players, like the Forest fans lately are a bit pissy because they should have beat Leicester and they didn't, and they kind of fucked themselves in that game.
It's
Right?
made Champions League hard, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
Agreed.
exactly. So I feel like looking at who's at home, like Man U, Villa, no, even Villa's away, right? That's not great. Palace, Liverpool. I mean, Mo at home and that's actually, if we got a leak on Liverpool and like Jota was starting or something, that could be a punt.
But the problem is, even with Jota starting, he's only going to get like 55, 60
Yeah.
minutes. That's kind of the
And they're
issue.
just not like hustling. What if Trent starts?
He's going to get 60, isn't he? I think Trent will start. I think we'll get 60. I just think that the Liverpool players, even if you get a leak, I think the only Liverpool players who can get 90 is Mo, subject to injury, of course. I think the rest of them, the attacking players you're interested in, are all going to get some sort of rotation. I think obviously they have 5 subs, they can't all get sub. But you know what I mean? I don't think it's going to be that standout. I just think it's not a great set of fixtures. I mean, that's partly because there isn't a lot to play for.
Yeah.
And the Champions League teams have kind of got trickiest fixtures, with the exception of Newcastle. I mean, if you're going for punts, so okay, well, why don't we go on to the second topic then, which was what's your strategy for Sunday then? Because you're in the situation where the deadline's 4:00 UK time. That means. Sorry. The kickoff's at 4:00 UK time. The deadline will then be 2:30 UK time. 2:30 UK which time. Which I guess is 9:30 for you, Kev. 9:30 for you, Kev.
What time again?
2:30 UK. So it's 9:30 for you, isn't it?
Yeah, 5 hours. Yeah.
Yep.
Sorry, you're lagging a little, like your video, and I'm like monitoring everything here, seeing, and it just threw me off. You haven't been this whole time.
Well,
now your video, and now you're kind of back again.
So what's your strategy for? Because you got 2 transfers, right? And this will be interesting for everyone, right? What's your strategy for Sunday then? So do you turn up with a strategy of going, right, if I don't get any leaks or any leaks that help me, this is what I'm going to do. And then you then go, but if I find this out, I will do this. How do you work? Because if you start going, well, if you randomly find out Jota starts, or you find out that Wilson started, yeah,
I have Isak, so I need to know about him.
Okay,
but I mean, like, look, if I kind of look at my team here, so let me go down a bit. So if I got 1 million in the bank. I mean, I could sell right now. I've benched Chris Wood, Munoz, Nico Williams, and Raya. I might put Raya in versus Southampton. Actually, I don't know. Whatever. So I'm not gonna change a keeper anyway. I got 1 million. I mean, I could sell Chris Wood. Like, the thing is, my lineup as is pretty fucking good. I could roll. This is why I was saying like 3 or 4 weeks ago. I was like, does anyone have any good D? I think I might go like Kirkes in. Home Leicester, you know what I mean?
What and stick with 3D or still go for 4D?
Because like right now I got Rod. So right now my like weakest attacker is Rodgers, away Man U, and Man U are supposedly supposed to be rotating and terrible, and obviously Villa need to win, and that's kind of like a good matchup for Rodgers. However, would I rather have Kluivert home Leicester or Barnes or Murphy home Everton with no D? So like, is that better than Rodgers? But and then also like everyone owns Rodgers. Am I gonna sell this guy? And he goes nuts. And it's like, well, obviously he was gonna smash Man U right now or whatever, right? So like I got Wissa and Bumo Wolves. They have an outside chance of the game meaning something now. So that's good because they're not beach. They're going to play. Plus, they're the hottest two players on my team. Besides Bowen, Ipswich away, he's not going anywhere. I got Mo Palace, he's not going anywhere. I got Saka Southampton, he's not going anywhere. And then if Isak does start versus Everton, he's not going anywhere. So really, Rodgers is my only attacker worth trying to upgrade. I got a million though. It's not even that much. I mean, I could downgrade Wood to fodder.
I mean, Kluivert has been subbed, by the way.
I don't think I would actually go. I probably wouldn't even go Rodgers. I would probably change Wood to Evan Nielsen, start him, and put Rodgers first sub or something, and then like Kivior Southampton, like Konsa. I know he just got a 15-pointer, but like selling him to Kirkes home Leicester, is that not technically better? Like, let's say it's just an isolated game and neither of them just hauled or didn't haul. And it was like Kirkes home Leicester versus Konsa away Man U.
Leicester don't have Vardy.
Yeah, like who would you rather start? I think it's just sort of like, probably. Plus, I already have Martinez, but I'm thinking of going Kivior and Ray at double D against Southampton, just because Man U. Let's see what happens with Europa. I mean, if they win that, they might have I think Europa. If Man U beat Spurs, it does a lot more for Man U in terms of this next game than it does for Spurs. For Spurs, it'll be this big moment. They'll party. We finally got a trophy. It's been forever. We can finally like put some of that banter behind us. With Man U, it's like they're actually decent team on paper. They just have this like massive competence issues building over the last like 5 years. So it might help them from a competence perspective this week.
Well, from what I can see from Man U is I watched them at the Chelsea game and they were good in patches. It's
early
like
they were pressing the shit out of Chelsea, and I really do think you can have players like they had it with Rashford when he was there. Remember when he got some confidence from the World Cup and he just came in and he was like, we're all captaining him for the next 6 weeks. He's in beast mode. Like there's a confidence issue at that club where there's just this negative press around them. If anything even goes remotely wrong, like the press just likes to shit on them, and it's just this like toxic environment there, and the Glazers this and these guys that, and it's like a problem, right? If they win the Europa, I mean, they're having an absolutely horrific season, but for the game after, I could see it actually kind of benefiting them from an attacking perspective. So this is a long-winded way of saying if Man U win Europa, I don't really want to start Konsa. I'm going to start Kivior and probably go Kirkes, I guess.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. I mean, at least you kind of got... I like that plan, Konsa to Kirkes, Wood to Evan Nielsen, but obviously that's dependent on Isak news.
Well, yeah, or I just go Wood to Evan Nielsen anyway, put Isak in, and Rodgers first bench.
It's not the end of the world for you. Yeah,
so then that helps me with this waiting for fucking leaks info. The only difference I could do is if I wanted to just go Rodgers to Murphy, because I have Murphy. Murphy's been like top 3 fantasy player over the last like 3 months. It's insane how many points the guy's got. Partially he's got a double. I think he has 2 double game weeks in there, which is obviously helping him. But So I think normally, Chris, I would wait and try and get leaks, but I could do it in a way where I just leave Isak in there. I make Wood Evan Nielsen. I put Rodgers first sub, Evan Nielsen in. I make Munoz. I turn Munoz into Kirkes, and I put Konsa second sub. Like I'm gonna sell the guys on my bench and have my good players become my bench so that I have a better backups. And I could like fucking hit bench boost this week because my team's so deep. But there's also going to be some rotation, man. There's going to be players you don't think get rotated.
Yeah, well, I think for the main, but if you
now.
Yeah, so my team, you can get it. I don't know. It's obvious. Pope. So I'm going to start Pope in goal. Pope home to Everton. So I'm going to start Pope in goal.
I'm on it.
Home to Everton. Yeah, so I'll start Pope in goal.
Yeah, so
I'll
I'll have
start hoping goal.
Livermento home to Everton.
I'll have
Livermento
Livermento
home to Everton.
Kivior away at
Vardiol home
Southampton,
at Fulham.
Vardiol
So I
home
don't
at
need to
Fulham,
change
so
the
I don't need
defence.
to change
There
the
isn't any
defence.
point.
There isn't any point.
The
The
midfield,
midfield,
I've got
Bumo away at
Wolves.
Wolves. Wolves are now losing 3-1 to Palace. Ben Chilwell scored now.
Nice. Really?
Yeah, I got Palmer away at Forest. So I'm going to keep that. I've gone for him, so I'm going to stick with him now. Bowen away at Ipswich is probably he's my most beached of all my players, but he's on fire. He's his scoring record. He's scored what last 5-6 games, so he's staying. He's arguably even a captain option.
Who? Sorry?
Bowen.
Oh, yeah. Bowen's been fucking unreal, man. So happy I went with him.
Then I got De Bruyne away at Fulham, and we know Man City need to win, and De Bruyne seems to be playing at the moment. Then I got Haaland up front, who is currently my captain. I got Wood at home to Chelsea, who's maybe the weakest link of all my players, I would say, just because of his form. And I got Visser away at Wolves, and if we decide that Brentford have got something to play for, then Visser and Bumo will go for it. I mean, I was kind of looking at selling either Bumo or Wood is kind of where I was targeting, but I don't. It doesn't really matter. And then my bench is Waneri away at Southampton. Now, if I know he starts, that's kind of an interesting. That's maybe the only league that I've got a mild interest in. And then I've got Williams home to Chelsea, and then Munoz away at Liverpool on my bench. I mean, I'm not going to play them. And then Ariola's my sub keeper away at Ipswich, which is decent. So I'm not really desperate. Which is why I went Eze. Which is why I went Eze to Palmer. Because I kind of listened to you and I went, maybe Eze won't play today. And Palmer's got a good fixture, and I don't want to play Eze last game of the season. So, and I've got the money. Why don't I bring Palmer in? I thought about it a while ago. Obviously, it didn't pay off this time, but maybe it will go. But I could just do nothing. I don't really know what to do, if I'm honest.
I would sell maybe Chris Wood. I mean, you don't have Saka, but do you want Saka?
I probably can't. I can't afford it. I've used all my money up now.
You'd have to
because I've got Palmer, De Bruyne, and Haaland. Oh, yeah. So I've got much money.
So you got one move.
I mean,
you could go Chris Wood to Evan Nielsen if you choose to.
Wood to Evan Nielsen's probably the sort of the textbook move, if that's kind of the right way of thinking of it.
What if Callum Wilson is confirmed league starter? I mean, is he even good anymore though?
I don't know.
6.9.
Wolves have scored. Apparently,
he's 6.9.
Yeah. I mean, I could. I don't think he's been playing 90 though, because they brought that Osalu guy on the other day. Right. I think the other one, the only reason why I'd sell Bumo more because of the position I'm in is his EO might be over 100% again, or is close to 100, and it's not really going to help me with any rank movement. So do I sell Bumo to a midfielder? I mean, I'm kind of half tempted by a Brighton player because Wolves are letting goals in. Brighton,
he's on fire. As much as I don't think he's a good FPL player overall, he's in form.
Yeah, it's that sort of thing I'm thinking about, but I mean, it doesn't particularly matter in the grand scheme of things.
That's a good transition question to like, who are some really good? What if this leaked that this guy started punts? Like you said, Waneri. Is there anyone else like that from any other team?
Let's have a look at the fixtures again. I think you know what about Gordon for Newcastle? I think he's a bit under the radar.
I think so too.
I
mean, I look at some of these. Who are the shit teams, right? Like,
what Havertz?
Is he back?
Yeah, we played like 20-30 minutes.
Triple Arsenal. I would imagine a lot of people have triple Arsenal.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think I can. Well, maybe his price has dropped enough. I might be able to afford him. But how much is Havertz now? I don't think I can get him in on a move. I'm not going to take a hit last game of the season. That's pointless.
No.
Because Havertz's price should have dropped a bit. We won't have dropped that much.
Still be like 7-8 or something.
He's 7.7. I'm actually 0.3. I'm 0.3 short of getting him. So I wouldn't. I mean, Havertz is. I mean, whether he's fit enough to play a whole game, I don't know. But I mean, he's a fit guy, so maybe it's possible.
What'd you say?
He's fit, as in
you fancy him.
Not in that way.
Hey man, that means different things over here. It's funny how the different.
Well, it means that here as well, but I meant physically fit. But anyway, that doesn't help. So
I look at these fixtures, right? Like, I mean, mass rotation potential. Like, who's a young stud? Like, there's that one kid from Chelsea. He actually started up front with Jackson out. I don't know how well he did. I didn't watch it.
Won't he?
No, he won't. I thought he has a 3 game. I thought he's like missing game 1 of next season. unless it got rescinded.
Oh, did he get? Oh, was it a straight red he got?
Yeah, yeah. I
I
think he's
actually
missing
think.
the first game of next year, even.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, he's suspended. Yeah, I think the problem is he actually makes Palmer less good, doesn't it?
Right, exactly. And they're playing Forest away, so fuck. I'm just saying like that kind of thing, so like Bournemouth. Is there some? Maybe it's Dango time again.
Yeah, no, that's an interesting
Like,
punt. Yeah, why not?
if he's up, but that was more because Evan Nielsen was out and he was playing up front. Like, so
What?
that's the other thing. Like, okay, so if Bournemouth's beached, Kluivert's just off of some injury, and Evan Nielsen was injured not that long ago. Those guys could easily just not play, man. Like, I would like to know Evan Nielsen's. I'd like to see that team leak before going with Evan Nielsen. Wasn't he out for like months?
Yeah, but he's been fine. Yeah, but he's
I
been
know,
fine.
but if this game's meaningless,
But it's not though. Oh yes, sorry, it is. Yes, sorry, it is.
so
Yeah,
why
it is.
would
Yeah.
you like? There's a real chance to just like fuck. I mean, I guess it's at home with the send off and all that.
But I think you're right. I think Dango's an interesting shout. Um,
Liverpool obviously have like guys like Harvey Elliott and stuff. I'm just not interested in that at all. Like I'm not.
I just think the risk with Liverpool, even if they start, as I say, there's a risk they get subbed at 60.
Yeah. So
And
to
I
me,
just
it's Newcastle players are probably the most attractive now, even more so than Bournemouth players.
Perhaps I'll go Callum Wilson. I quite like that as a punt. That
Really?
seems fun. Yeah,
Fucking right.
let's do it.
You gonna cap them?
Well, actually, let's talk about captain, and then we'll jump to questions.
Sure.
So as I mentioned, so for the team that I've got, the captains I would consider are Bumo away at Wolves, Visser away at Wolves, because I just think why not? They're going for it. I'm not massively sold on that, to be fair. Just because I got both of them, and I think that kind of makes a bit of a difference. I think that kind of makes a bit of a difference. I mean, Fulham, Haaland at Fulham. I know he's done absolutely nothing today as well. Well, it was 20 minutes to go. But yeah, I guess it's Haaland, right? You never know, he might get a hat-trick last game of the season. So at the moment, I'm on Haaland. As kind of, I know not many people will have him. I kind of think Bowen's an okay choice.
I like Bowen for you. I mean, for me as well. I guess I'm a little more. Let's see where my rank ends up here. I don't know. Like, if I'm gonna be if I'm gonna be around 40K, I guess. How much higher? How much can I even move from here?
I
guess I could move. I
mean, surely Mo's a big captain option here. Going for the record,
Mo or Saka or Bumo.
Mo Saka, yeah, that makes sense. I mean, De Bruyne's an interesting captain option if you kind of think last game ever for Man City he's going to pull the strings. But if he's going to pull the strings, you might as well pull the strings for Haaland.
That was today home Man City. In my opinion, like the last home game. I think the other one is Watkins because a lot of people brought him into captain this week, and they're probably wondering, I kind of brought him in for the 2-game thing because Man U are also supposed to rotate or whatever. And again, I think if Man U win, I would just sort of abandon that. Like, I think Villa is still a better team, and they're going to be able to beat Man U. I just think Man U are going to be playing with a bit more confidence. And
so, one
player will want to hold a lead. Sorry to cut you off. I think they'll want to hold the lead more than... Like, if they go up 1-0 even, you could just see them shut shit down and just try to win 1-0 for the... Like, it's such an important game. They won't want to play loosey-goosey. I think it's tough.
So one punty player again in Newcastle, Trippier, because he's got a calf injury, he's not played.
Right.
If you hear he starts, well, he's 20, I don't. All I know is the game says a 25% chance of playing with a calf injury. So
he was the other. Yeah, he was the other player outside of Kirkez I was looking at as like a defender move.
Yeah, I mean, I quite like the Trippier. You know, I mean, you have to know he's leaked, he's starting.
Yeah.
And I guess the starting point is Howell saying he might play. If you get that, then you look for the leak.
I mean, I guess he plays 55 minutes. Like, why not just go Livramento, right?
Yeah, but I just think Trippier's just on the corners. You just got more.
Totally.
There was a world where Trippier plays, you captain him.
No, not with a minute. I wouldn't do it with such a recent injury. I know you don't like the minute thing with Trent either, but I think there's something to him, man. Last home game, there's this thing where their fans are booing him, but now Mo's like, "Oh, come on, guys, we love Trent, don't we?" Like I could see them. He's definitely. I think he's 100% going to start. I think like it's his last game at home and shit like that. It's like a kind of meaningless game. It's all about the like.
Send off.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think so, and I think he could go nuts. I do,
So-
and no one has him.
So, but if we go back to captain then, so
Yeah.
what we're saying is we think the favourite captains are going to be Mo, Bumo, Watkins,
And Watkins,
and maybe
yeah. Mo.
and then
Saka.
and then Saka, and then if you go in fringe, it would be like Bowen or Haaland.
Yeah, like Bowen, Wissa.
Bowen, Vista, Haaland. I mean, I kind of put Saka in that category just because I don't think Saka's as highly owned.
But
In
he's
terms
like,
of highly owned
he's like the
players.
bona fide number one transfer this week. For like every single person that talks like
Okay,
that.
but maybe it goes from category B to category A. But
Yeah.
category A for me is Watkins, Mo, and Bumo. I'd put Saka's kind of halfway between that and what I kind of category B, which would be Haaland, Visser, and Bowen. Cool.
Cool.
I think that's captain done. So let's do some questions and wrap
Oh
up.
shit! You want me to type this shit up?
Oh, I
See
thought
if I
you
can
just
do
like,
that. Let me see if I
I
can.
thought you just slick. Oh, Kovacic has got a red card. Excellent.
Ooh. Come on,
And
boy, man.
Strand Larson scored for Wolves. There we go.
Let's see if I can fucking do this. Check this out. Wait, there's a way to like have.
I thought just put Slack up, man. Come on, just get on with it.
I have that's on my phone. I don't have it. I've never opened it.
Oh,
on my
Cook's got a red.
computer.
Who's Cook?
Who?
Cook's got a red card, and so's Kovacic. What game is this? I don't know who these players are. One of them having a massive fight with each other.
To know. Can you see that? How would you know? Ah, fuck this, man. I don't have how. It's not gonna happen this time. Maybe next
Right,
time.
so, I got 3 questions. Right, let's go for them. Best Isaac replacements.
Best East.
Fun punts edition. So basically, who are the best strikers? Let's just literally step down the striker list. So
Yeah. Okay. I'll pull it up.
so let's look at forwards. not
How should I
managers.
sort it, my man? But just by points?
First points is fine. So Wood, not fun, but Wood. I mean, we're talking about selling Wood, aren't we? I mean, he's got a bit cold, so I'm not loving Wood this
It's
week.
just the fixture.
It's a
I
fixture,
think
yeah.
you could score in it. It turned when I was watching Wood blank for me this week, as you were. The announcer was like, and Chris Wood, who scored more goals against West Ham than any other club, and I didn't even know that. And I'm like, oh fuck, good fact, sweet. Look how smart we are.
Don't help
Then
us.
he blanks. Yeah, exactly. I had no idea.
I mean, So it's kind of interesting because Wood, Watkins, Visser, the 3 Ws, are all next to each other, second, third, and fourth on the list here.
yeah.
They were kind of like Wood was a transfer 2 weeks ago, Watkins was a transfer last week, Visser was a transfer 3 weeks ago. They're kind of the transfers people would have got in, so there might be other popular players. So, I mean, there may be the moves you go if you want to like cover your bases a little bit.
Your base,
But it's certainly not the fun punt.
it's certainly
kind of where you're going for. Kuna, the fact that he
That's
didn't
kind of
play
where
today
you're
is not
going
a great
for.
sign.
Um,
I'd want to be
Kuna,
Kuna,
the fact that he did
before I put him in.
I got kids here. 1 second. I'm gonna close my door. They just got home.
So I wouldn't go Kuna. I think that's too much risk if he's not actually playing. I just talk about Kuna. I mean,
Back.
so the next person. So just about Kuna, I don't think Kuna is the way to go. I'd have to have a leak know he's starting before I even went that route. And then you got Haaland, who's obviously a great fun punt, but that's a hell of a jump off in price. Unless you got
hell of a
six-
jump
so-
off in
No
no one's
one's
got 600, you've got
randomly
6.
getting to him this week.
No, certainly not on one transfer. And then not certainly not on one transfer.
no.
And then because he may not play, I think he's recovering from that injury. I think he's recovering from that injury, and I think he doesn't play at all.
I won't be
Then
shocked.
you got
if he doesn't play
Raul,
at
who's
all.
beached. Then you got
Strand
Larson,
Larson,
no.
who's
Delap,
beached.
no. Vardy's definitely not playing. João
Strand
Pedro,
Larson,
João
no.
Pedro.
Delap,
What's he
no.
been doing?
Vardy's
I don't mind that. He's back from his ban.
Is he banned for 4 games or something?
Is he
Because he's
bound
not
for
played last
games
4.
or something?
Why didn't he play this week? I missed that.
He's not played last 4.
I just think he's not been playing. So So it's not a great list of strikers, is it? Because then we're down to Even Nielsen, who is probably like
He's the number one target for this price range. It's just you got to know he's starting. I think he's got the best fixture.
You got Welbeck, who's had his best ever goal scoring.
But then
You got Welbeck, who's had his best ever goal scoring.
You have to know he's starting.
Strand Larson is on fire. Brentford, nah. Brentford decent.
Yeah, not Strand Larson for me. Yeah, again, you don't know he's having good minutes. Gapco, you got a minutes issue. Again, you don't know way he's got the worst finish there. Solanke, you don't know start. Havertz is not fit enough.
Havertz
I would
is not
suspect.
fit enough.
Well, Harry Wilson.
I would suspect.
Callum Wilson, I meant. I think he's sort of like the actual punt if Isak.
What about Eddie?
And you're not selling Isak if he's
what about Eddie?
So you don't need to know about the punt. I don't think Eddie's good either because I could see Mateta just playing all of us. Like I don't think he'll play, but he could.
Oh, what's ugly is Wilson only played 63 minutes against. I didn't even notice him playing, if I'm honest, which is probably not great.
Well, you guys are pretty good.
But he's been playing like 20 minutes all season, hasn't he?
Yeah.
And when he started, he's only had 60. It's not a great punt, is he?
Fulkrug, he's not getting minutes either. But I mean, what a fixture if he was leaked to start. They've just been playing Kudus and Bowen up front, haven't they? But
this is just awful, isn't it? The striker options are terrible. It's kind of gone from.
I didn't even know that.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, unless you know something about some like young kid at a club that's getting his debut, that's leaking, that's 4.5 million or something. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, there's that tier of leak punt as well. Like, I remember Man U did that the other year with that Chong guy and stuff, and people were punting on him. And I think there's something there, but you know, I think it's gonna be like Evan Nielsen is the main forward target that most people aren't going to have just based on the fixture. And then followed by that, are you punting on Callum Wilson? Are you punting on, I don't know.
Sean Harden.
Yeah. I could technically get Watkins in if I sold Konsa for Kirkez as well.
I mean, that's more of a, that's an interesting move. You're going to captain Watkins as well, maybe.
I don't want to captain Watkins away from home. Like I said, Man United. I mean, if Man United lose the Europa, we would entertain it more. But yeah,
okay.
But I think you could. I mean, most people didn't roll like we did I did last week, so they might not be in that boat. But yeah.
So, second question: is Saka worth a hit for game week 38? No.
Anyone is worth a hit this week.
I'm not even sure. I'm not even sure Saka's the right move. I know, Kev, you said he's like the bandwagon. I'm just not sure.
Well, I was also the one saying, like, are you sure you guys want Saka? He's been blanking for me for a month.
Yeah. I mean, if you've got him, clearly you don't sell him. No. If you don't have him, I'm not sure it's where I go. However, saying that, not sitting there going, oh, well, you definitely get this guy instead, because, I mean, it's not a great... No. I mean, so another interesting punt for me would be Foden. If he started,
I would rather go Saka home Southampton than Foden.
Away Southampton, but yeah.
Oh, sorry, yeah, you're right. I also think it depends where you're at. Like, are you chasing a mini league? Are you the leader in the mini league? You know, like if you're trying to protect rank, you're gonna go Saka. If you're trying to protect rank and you've got like 20-point lead, then maybe the hit is worth it for Saka if everyone else is about to go get him in your league. I don't know. Like, if you have a buffer, like, you kind of want to guess what your opponent's going to do. Most mini leagues, the guys that are actually playing for something, the guys that are in second and third and shit are going to know exactly who you have in your team, and they're going to go, like, off the board punt. You're not going to be able to guess where they're going. If they go get the bandwagon punt, they're dumb. You're not going to catch the guy in first doing what he's doing. You got to go, you got to, like, go for peak variance.
So, and then that kind of links to the final question then, which is more about, so some people might go Isak down to say like an Evan Nielsen, that frees up a bit of cash, like 3 million or whatever. You could then take your £4 or £5 million midfield to that £7-8 million mark. which are your favourite midfielders for this week in terms of punts?
Yeah, I think it's. We talked a bit about it with Newcastle, right? Like they're top of the list for me.
So like, Murphy don't really need an upgrade.
Murphy don't really need
Berg is
an
interesting.
upgrade.
I like. We mentioned Gordon before, didn't we?
Berg is interesting. I like.
I mean,
I mentioned
Even Murphy, but Barnes. You really need to know who starts in this scenario. Because Joelinton might be fit now, right? Which is why the three of them have been playing together.
Yeah.
I don't hate Martinelli as a punt. I don't hate Martinelli.
There's way more range here. I mean, you could go Kluivert, you could go Bruno if they win. Like seriously, I mean, why not? I mean, I wouldn't, but
you could also go the other Bruno.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, there's really a lot.
You could also go the other Bruno.
I mean, Son's back.
What about Semenyo? That's Semenyo. He's kind of the forgotten man from earlier in the season.
I would like to go even like what are the like wild punts like?
Mitoma,
like a mod.
Mitoma.
He's like right back in there. I don't
love
the fixture obviously and the form of the team. What about Kudus playing up front versus Ipswich? I mean, it kind of like how wild do you want to get here?
Well, I think Mitoma's quite wild. I don't think I was linking
I think
Marino's still banned playing up front, or I guess Havertz is back.
Well, maybe Marino, yeah. Just go back to that's a. He's kind of
Marino, yeah.
Just go back. I think there's something to this guy being injured and Bournemouth sucking now, because I remember earlier in the season he was sort of like every Bournemouth fan like raving about we're doing well because of the way Ryan Christie plays and the role they've got him doing, and he's been injured since game week 30, and that's sort of right around when Bournemouth started to stink. So I'm not liking the Bournemouth punt the more I think about it. It's just the fixture's so attractive, right? So I need to tinker around with this a bit more. But there's tons of punts in midfield, way more than up front. Up front's like Evan Nielsen, Strand Larson. Like, they're not great.
Yeah, agreed. There's agreed. The Arsenal attackers, you've got Semenyo, you've got some Bournemouth guys. You've got Rodgers, Murphy, Gordon. Yeah, I quite like the Kudus. Why not? He has been ticking along more than you might actually think if you look at his points.
Yeah,
I think. I know he's not. He's got like 7-1-6-2. It's not really ticking along, but he's definitely got something he can do there.
Wonder why you're just like super laggy all of a sudden. I wonder why. I gotta go research this shit, man. This was a good test of if it works or not. But there's some things like you're pretty laggy right now. You weren't earlier, and then you were, and then you weren't. I don't understand why. I mean,
it's probably my internet.
You think it's your internet?
Yeah, I think it's my internet.
This ran so much smoother than on the other computer. Like, I think I definitely have the ability to do this. I'm probably fucked up this recording and we have no audio. I'm hoping that's not the case.
So for anyone listening to this, congratulations, you managed to pass whatever test. Well, it means Kevin and I have passed some form of test. And so
12 people that listen to us, like, go to YouTube to listen to it. We'll post if we screwed up the audio here and can't get it on pod this 1 week, we'll be like, check out the YouTube just to see if it's shit or not. And anyone that knows what they're doing that wants to give us some advice, thank you, because I got nothing.
Okay.
This is brand new to me. I like one thing as we're doing this, I think it would be better if instead of me going on the internet and clicking around, if we know like the 5 or 6 images we're going to look at during the pod, it would be better to like put them in PowerPoint and open that up instead.
Oh yeah, I mean that would involve us deciding before today we were going to record on YouTube. But like the fixtures,
the table, our teams, pretty straightforward shit. It's just scrolling around on the players and stuff. We probably won't do that, or we'll have things that we do look at. I don't know. Could figure it out. I like that we do our own thing though. I don't want to do what other people do. I don't really care. I don't really watch anyone else's YouTube at all, and in any form of my life at all, so I don't really even know. Like, I get so irked when people start talking about liking and subscribing. I just fucking turn it off. So if we ever start...
Oh, I was going to end with that, so can you like it? No. Right, cool. Right. Well, should we stop recording there? And
okay, I'm going to click stop recording and see what happens. Okay,
we're still on air, though, apparently.
And now I'm going to click stop streaming and see what happens.